Hey guys, Troy Dooley, MLM Help Desk and MLM News Talk. It has been a wild week over here in the direct selling niche. I mean, crazy stuff going on. But at the same time, I see some positive stuff. We're going to share that with you too. One of the first things that I want to talk about is the Agel situation. You know, I'm putting up, I mean, I'm not going to go into it. We talked about this a little bit last week. But what I am going to do is put up some pretty powerful stuff from Lynn Clement. Lynn literally has gone through and really tweaked this thing down to a science. He's shown what's happened, talks about the founder, Glenn Jensen, talks about the rumors that have taken place, talks about the top leaders, and shares his insights as only Lynn can do. And puts a couple of podcasts up from the great Randy Gage and Eric Warhe, and really shows what's going on. He shows the entire complaint where Agel has sued its founder. He also talks about the new CEO. You know, and that's something that we all should look at for a second. Boyd Matheson, Matheson, I'll get it out here, however you say his name. Listen, he was with Learning Global, okay, and we all know they left network marketing. Matter of fact, it's crazy because about a year ago, Accelerate was leaving direct selling. We've seen companies throughout the year leave the niche, and people have said, is it going down? No, man, we are having a great time over here. Okay, direct selling still is the most powerful marketing channel in America today if you want to really get your message out there. But what I want to look at is, I've already heard some rumors saying, oh, we can't trust the new CEO of Agel because of all the stuff that happened at iLearning Global. Man, that is just not true. Listen, I understand that there are times when CEOs are they just screw it up. But in this case here, Agel's a phenomenal company, first and foremost. They've got great leadership. Some of the leadership may move somewhere else. That's fine. But here's what I want you to look at. Just like with distributors, sometimes CEOs are going to be with a company and it's just going to go bad and they're going to go somewhere else. The same thing runs true with distributors. Just because, Eiro Research decided to leave MLM doesn't mean that Tribble and Bo Short are awful leaders. So give them time to work out their stuff. I hate lawsuits. I wish that they could settle with Glenn outside of court, whatever the crap is that's going on. I just don't like that. But read this. Lynn did a phenomenal job here, and I think it's important. I want to look real quick at this Eiro Research, E-I-R-O. And the reason I do is because I have followed Bo Short and Tribble for years. And watching Ty's been a distant, I don't know, friendly competitor because we're bloggers, but he started long before I did. And he has been my benchmark. I have constantly strived to put content out like he does and do some rocking stuff. I've not reached it. I'm still cranking it out. I got other stuff going on too, but he's phenomenal. One of the things that I know about Ty is he loves his team. I've seen this over and over and over through the years. Sometimes he's gotten with companies and things have gone great. And now him and Bo have been partners for years. I'm going to put up a recording that they did for their team. And I think every leader should be this type of a leader. I watched Garrett McGrath do this when he left Accelerating and went over to Evolve. You know, and he shared with his team, hang on, we're going to make it. One of the things that Bo talks about is as soon as this hit the wires, how many people were calling them, offering them deals and all this stuff. And by the way, as a SVP of Sales of Ignite 360, we did not call them up at all. I respect the fact that these guys know what they're looking for. They're going to make contact with the companies that are important to them. And I really suggest, whether you're in corporate or you're in the field, when you hear something bad that's happened, you need to be more like my friend Rod Smith over at Gano Gold. Because when he found out what had happened to Tom Chenault, he called and offered condolences to him. Said, man, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. I feel sorry for you. I've been in situations in the past. Look, that's what we do as leaders. Now, there's a possibility, there's a business deal there, but doggone it, don't look at everybody as a dollar sign. That's just garbage. We don't need to do that. It's nuts. I want to read something, though, from this is Motivate Magazine. I like it. You guys might know that guy. He's this little old podunk dude out of Texas called Trey White. They did an interview on him in this magazine, and the reason I want to talk about this because I think this all lines up right here. See, Trey talks about the secret of success. This is where Garrett McGrath and his team went after Accelerate went down. Not here. I mean, I've talked about their product, I've talked about their line, but I want you to listen to one thing that Trey says because I think this is true no matter what company it is. The secret sauce to success is identifying the market, finding the best team that has experience in that industry, executing a plan that's been created, and then holding everyone accountable to their piece of the plan. Now, in this case here, Trey's talking about his executive team. But where I want to segue this in to what I'm talking about is I listened to this whole call that Bo Short and Ty Tribble did. I listened to their team leaders talk. And these guys were very professional. They made it very clear that the company made a corporate decision. That's fine. That's out of their control. What they were doing is they were making a command decision that within 5 days they would find a new home, rock solid, based on Ty's experience. I mean, this boy has a database that's probably second only to Rod Cook or Lynn Clements. I mean, he has studied the industry. And they're going to find a new home for their team. And the other thing that he did that I thought was so great, because I teach my team this all the time. They said, you know what, it never was about weight loss or energy drinks or anything else. It's about making sure your dreams on our team come true, that your families are taken care of, that your debts are paid, that your dreams are there. That's what it's about in direct selling. So I'm proud of these guys. They're going to land somewhere. I hope that when they do, we'll do a review on the company they go to. I just think it's going to be great. And you may say, Troy, is this really news? I think it is, because there's going to be other companies this happens to. You know, we see this all the time. And it's sad when it happens, but it makes you stronger. See, I'm reading a leadership book right now, and actually listening to Bo and Ty, it was great. It's called The Truth About Leadership, the no fads, heart of the matter, facts you need to know. I'm doing my radio show every morning, radioforyourmind.com. That was a little plug. But we're going through what James Coos and Barry Posner talks about. They wrote the Leadership Challenge. And what I saw here was the epitome of today's chapter. Matter of fact, I'm just going to open it up and tell you what it is, because I think it's the truth. It says you can't do it alone. And in this case, these guys are saying we're coming together. We're not going to try to be lone rangers. We want your input. We want to hang with you guys. That's what it's about in direct selling. It's funny because it reminds me of my other friend, Corey Citron. Corey's all the time saying you got to turn lemons into lemonade. And I've watched him go through similar situations himself. All great leaders in direct selling at one time or another, in most cases, not all, but in most cases, have gone through similar situations. So guys, just hang with them. If you're with one of these teams, just relax. If you're over there at Agel, relax. Things are going to work out. I want to talk about something real quick. This was in the December issue, the Youthful Revolution. And the reason I want to bring this up is because another one of the guys that I just thoroughly love, and I try to hang around and listen to guys younger than I am because it's a big time. But excuse me, Blake Mullen says this. In this business, if you're not growing, you're dying. Now, Blake's the chief marketing officer over at Visalis Science. He says, if you think about it, you've never seen the future or anything created by an older generation. Steve Jobs at Apple changed the music industry. Google has transformed the internet. These guys were all young. They went to we want to tap into the same energy. I started thinking about that, and I'm gonna get a little spiritual on you for a minute, so just deal with this. I looked at what Blake said in this article. I started looking back at all the great companies in the last few years that have really kicked up and done stuff. They've all had young leaders, or the CEOs of the companies have surrounded themselves with young leaders. And I realized that's what it's about. And then I started thinking back through my Bible, because you guys know I always read my Bible. All the great heroes of the Bible were young. They were either in their teens, their 20s, or possibly their early 30s, but they were young. You realize Jesus, let's just take Jesus for a second, was 30 years old. He was surrounding himself with young stud fishermen, people like that. When you look at David, he was in his teens. When you look at Ruth, she was in her teens. All these people, Esther, I started looking at the ancients to here. I started looking at some of the young kings of the monarchs over in Great Britain, and what Blake had said, it's all young. That's what it is. So the wave of the future, when you see a company go down, when you see stuff going crazy, that's okay. We've got a young generation right now that's passionate. They're resilient. They're not going to quit. So if you're a leader out there like me, older, and you're thinking, man, whether it's the corporate side or the younger, you're out there in the field, just keep the focus on what's important, and that's change. Change is going to happen. I've decided in network marketing, and I didn't think of this. Kevin Lehman, the former owner of ProStep, said this many, many years ago. The only thing consistent in network marketing is change. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a cleanup. We're seeing just a crazy, wild time right now. But in the future, and I'm going to close down with this, guys. In the future, if you see something happening in your company, start taking a peek at it, start looking. If you're a CEO and you're having issues, you're having troubles, man, don't wait until you got to shut your company down. Get a hold of guys like Rod Cook, who is a master at putting companies together, mergers and acquisitions. Get a hold of Lynn Clements, who's good at mergers, finding out what's going on. You can call me, Kevin Thompson, Kevin Grimes over at Grimes and Reese. Look, get with the top players in the industry and say, I need some help. What can I do? Put us under non-disclosures if you feel more comfortable there, but don't let your distributors go down. Man, you can call my friend Steve Wallach or Tom Chenal. Tom's got an excellent background when it comes to mergers and acquisitions and all that stuff. Look, don't wait till it's too late. Don't let it be a pride issue. Get with some other people. Let's help each other out. Let's build a community, not watch all these companies go down. In closing, I want to say this. I've got a big travel coming up, but one of the great things that I'm going to be doing, and I'm excited about this, I'm going to be hanging out with Rod Cook, Lynn Clement, Kevin Thompson, Marcy, all that. We're having the big convention is coming up, and I don't even know, remember, it's in Vegas on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. I'm going to put a link up on the blog. Guys, we'd love to see you there. Okay, become a member of the association. Work together, companies and distributors. Come to the convention. We're going to have the attorneys there. We're having ethics classes. We're going to be on stage talking about everything. Some of the biggest millionaires. Sherman Uncaford's going to be there. Garrett McGrath's going to be there. Brian McMullen's going to be there. A lot of great people are going to be there. You ought to check it out, guys. Live life like it's an epic adventure. We'll see you at the top.